The sun was setting, casting long shadows over the rolling hills of northern Francia. The once tranquil landscape was now a theater of war, echoing with the clamor of clashing steel and the cries of battle. This was no ordinary skirmish. It was a collision of two great warrior cultures, Vikings and Norman knights. Leading the Viking contingent was Eric Bloodaxe, a fearsome warrior known for his tactical brilliance and unyielding spirit. His men were seasoned raiders, their ironclad forms a testament to countless battles fought and won. They had come from the rugged shores of Scandinavia, driven by the promise of plunder and the thrill of conquest. Opposite them stood the Norman knights, led by Duke William, a formidable commander whose lineage traced back to Viking ancestors. His men were the epitome of chivalric martial prowess, armored in gleaming steel, mounted on powerful war horses, and carrying the pride of their noble heritage. As the two forces faced off, a tense silence fell over the battlefield. Eric raised his axe high, the blade catching the dying light of the sun. His voice boomed across the field, rallying his warriors. "Men of the North, today we fight not just for gold, but for glory. Show these Normans the fury of the Viking spirit." A roar erupted from the Viking ranks, a sound that seemed to shake the very ground beneath them. The Norman knights, though resolute, felt a ripple of apprehension. They had heard tales of Viking ferocity, but now they were about to experience it firsthand. With a swift motion, Eric signaled the charge. The Vikings surged forward, a wave of iron and fury. The ground trembled as they ran, their war cries mingling with the pounding of their feet. The Normans braced themselves, lances at the ready, forming an impenetrable wall of steel and horseflesh. The initial clash was cataclysmic. Viking axes met Norman shields with bone-jarring force. The air was filled with the sound of metal striking metal, the grunts of effort, and the screams of the wounded. Eric fought at the forefront, his axe cleaving through armor and bone with terrifying ease. Beside him, his men fought with a savage intensity, their movements a dance of death and destruction. But the Normans were no strangers to battle. Trained in the arts of war from a young age, they held their ground with grim determination. Their lances pierced Viking flesh, their swords cut down those who came too close. The battle raged on, a brutal contest of strength and skill. Amid the chaos, Eric spotted Duke William, resplendent in his ornate armor, rallying his knights with unwavering resolve. Eric knew that to break the Normans, he would have to face their leader. With a guttural roar, he charged toward William, his axe raised high. William saw him coming and spurred his horse forward, meeting Eric's charge head-on. The two leaders clashed with a ferocity that seemed to eclipse the battle around them. Eric's axe crashed against William's shield, sending splinters flying. William's sword slashed at Eric's side, but the Viking dodged, his movement swift and deadly. They circled each other, exchanging blows that would have felled lesser men. Eric's strength was matched by William's skill, their duel a testament to the prowess of their respective cultures. The battle around them seemed to fade, the focus narrowing to this single pivotal confrontation. With a sudden powerful swing, Eric's axe found its mark, striking William's shield with such force that it splintered apart. The impact unhorsed the Duke, sending him sprawling to the ground. Eric seized the moment, pressing his advantage. But William was quick to recover, rolling to his feet and drawing a dagger from his belt. The fight continued on foot, each man driven by a fierce determination to triumph. Eric's strikes were relentless, his rage a palpable force. William countered with precision, his movements honed by years of training. The tide of battle seemed to shift with every blow, neither warrior giving an inch. Finally, with a maneuver that took William by surprise, Eric disarmed him, sending his dagger flying. The Viking chieftain stood over the fallen Duke, his axe poised for the final strike. But in that moment, he saw something in William's eyes, a reflection of his own unyielding spirit. Lowering his axe, Eric extended a hand. William, though battered and beaten, took it, rising to his feet. The battlefield around them fell silent, both Viking and Norman warriors pausing to witness this unexpected turn of events. Eric's voice rang out once more, carrying a note of respect. Today we have both fought with honor. Let us end this bloodshed and find another way." William nodded, acknowledging the Vikings' words. A tentative truce was formed, born out of mutual respect and the recognition of shared valor. As the sun finally dipped below the horizon, the ironclad warriors of both sides laid down their arms, united by the bonds of battle and the enduring spirit of their warrior cultures.